त्यांचा हाईड कर. जाऊ दे आता, गॅलरी व्ह्यू कर. त्यामुळेच सफारी ठीक आहे ना. Are we live? Okay. Good morning, Rajesh sir. Namaste. Are you able to hear me? You're on mute.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, is this screen clear to you? Good morning,
Totally clear.
and welcome back to our series of the Diamond Sutra, where we are doing living the Diamond Sutra, where you come and when we study this, we're able to apply it. Even the practice which we learned about yesterday was about this non-discrimination, and then suddenly we could experience that when we do that practice, we are able to experience things more fully, and we are able to do things more and more and more. So today, for the day, what we have planned that we are going to be practicing first our practice of 9 to 0, and then the flow is we'll get to know a fun fact from you, and then we'll move on to our study of the Diamond Sutra. So we'll all sit for a practice of, yeah, okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rajesh sir, so sorry, I shared you a different link. I think you'll have to join from eCam. Is that okay?
Why some issue with 1 minute? Huh?
No, no, Zoom is okay, but like if I have to get you on screen and stuff, then I will need
We are going live from
Zoom,
Zoom.
Zoom, Zoom.
So then you can take me, pin me, na?
Okay, okay.
That
You're
will be.
already pinned. I was just saying that if we want to have that view where you're okay, okay, then this is also
Understood.
fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This will be the screen, I think. So that will be shared, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Go on, if you want, you can go on the multi-speaker or the gallery view, right?
Yes, yes. Now we are on the gallery view, so we both are there.
So now
Okay.
you'll get the screen where the sutra is,
Yes.
where you will be small and the sutra will be there. I can read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So before that, we'd like to know the fun fact of the day from you.
Yeah. So the fun fact for today is that the first translation of this Diamond Sutra into Chinese was
Mm-hmm.
basically done by Kumar Jiva. Okay,
Okay.
and Kumar Jiva, if you know Dr. Lim, keeps on praising him. So definitely, this also shows that this was originally in Sanskrit. Okay, now Sanskrit was not a language only for the so-called Indian subcontinent that we define today with political boundaries, but it was a cultural country called India where Sanskrit was the language that was practiced from, you can say, the Kushan Empire, means the Afghanistan, the Tajikistan, and all the stan that you hear of, from that till almost the central Southeast Asia, where the language was used for communication. So this was a major language, and Kumar Jiva's translation style was so distinctive that people started to like it, because he was basically from the Kushan Empire, and when
Hmm.
he had learned Chinese, he was able to put the whole essence of Sanskrit into Chinese, and Chinese suddenly became very nice. So the version of translation that we have today is a blend of two people. One is Kumar Jiva, the other one is Xuanzang. Now
Hmm.
Xuanzang blended this as it is because he was a Chinese who came to India, studied Sanskrit, and then he translated it. But Kumar Jiva was a Sanskrit scholar who then translated into Chinese after studying Chinese. So both of them have contributed into the current translation of the text that we have. There have been many multiple more translators on it, but you can imagine the reason that it was so well accepted even 2500 years ago. The fact is that i- reading it itself is like going to give you that essence of understanding, that we do not need to hold on to concepts to think, because if you use concepts to think, then your thoughts are based on the concepts, and your doing is also conceptual. But here, this is a non-conceptual thinking sutra. Means it teaches you how to think based on what the current action needs, okay, or the situation needs. So it doesn't take, it actually helps you to be in the present moment, and that's the beauty of it. So the fact, again, this is a book that actually teaches you not to understand it. The fact is like that. Many people want to understand it. You cannot understand it. You have to read
That's
it.
actually a very funny fact. Yeah. So
Okay.
thank you so much. Yeah, we'll move on and we'll start with our chapter for the day, which is so the chapter 4. Okay. So chapter 4 is so first we did event leading to assembly, then we did enquiry from an elder, then vow to save all beings. Now chapter 4, practice without attachment. And the verses goes as okay, so the it starts furthermore Subhuti, while practicing dharma, the bodhisattvas when giving alms should not attach to the form. Yeah. I'll continue or like this
Yeah,
para by
continue,
para.
continue.
Yeah. This is called giving alms without attachment to form and giving alms without attachment to sound, odor, taste, touch, or thoughts. Why is this so? If bodhisattvas give alms without attachment to forms, their merits are immeasurable.
Okay, let's stop here. Okay.
Okay?
Furthermore, Subhuti. So now in the last chapter we studied that how Buddha promised Subhuti that he does not differentiate when it comes up to saving beings.
Hmm.
Okay, whatever form they are in. So similarly, that means non-differentiation is one of the most important criteria for a person to have no thoughts, right? No
Hmm.
non-thought also. So that state to achieve, where you want to be in that state where thoughts do not actually breed within you, then you need to use the principle of non-discrimination. But here again he goes further to say, now remember what did he was going to answer two questions. Never
Hmm.
forget the first chapter
First two questions.
where
Second
he is
chapter.
asking, second chapter where he is
Hmm.
asking the question how to focus the mind and control the
Control the
thought.
thoughts.
And he said that how to control the thoughts is first by non-discrimination. Now the
Hmm.
second thing he is saying is, while practicing dharma, okay, the bodhisattvas when giving alms should not attach to the form. Now he's saying that when you practice dharma, dharma means what? Dharma means following the six paramitas, in which dana is one of the most important thing. To give, see, when people look at Buddha's way, they think it is all about letting go, giving away the kingdom, going and taking a bowl and begging
The
from people.
family, the
Yeah, so it's all
responsibilities.
about being dependent. No,
Hmm.
he's teaching here that when a bodhisattva is giving alms, okay,
Hmm.
when he's giving alms means he has to have something to
Hmm.
give. And that thing, when you're giving, you're actually sacrificing, right? Because something that is yours, not something that you have too much that you want to just give away. No, you cannot give something that you're trading. That is trading.
mm,
Giving alms means something that is most beloved to you. How are you ready to give that to somebody else? Okay. And yet, not being attached to that form, that, oh, I gave this. Because form means basically something that you can, conceptualize, you can materialize, you can name, and something that you think has gone away. So here you should not attach to any kind of rupa, that means form. Okay, this is called giving alms without attachment to form, and giving alms without attachment to sound, odor, taste, touch, or thoughts. Why? Because your six senses is where the world of rupa is. That's the world of your form. So
mm,
anything that you think is what you're giving is based on the six senses. Okay, that means something that you can see, something that you can smell, something that you can touch, something that you can hear, something that you can, speak, or all those things. Yeah, even your thoughts, giving that is considered as dana. And being not attached means after I've given, then don't ask. Once you have given, why you given, how much I want, then once you ask, I gave you 100 rupees, okay, then if you have given it as dana, then don't ask what I did with it. But if you want to ask, I helped you so much, now what do I get in return? That is trading, that is not dana. Okay, so
mm,
many people, they want to do good to the world. They want to do give alms to the world, but in turn they want the world, and they expect the world to give them something back,
mm,
credit. They want people to see how good they are. That's already trade. That's a
mm,
deal that has gone wrong. So you don't. That's why we say that when you give dana, the left hand should not know what the right hand gave, and when
mm,
the right hand gives, the left hand should not know what the right hand gives. So here
mm,
you have to see. Then here it is saying that attachment is being defined here. Attachment is being defined as something that is sensory, something with the five and the sixth sense, even the thought is where the attachment is. So one was in the last chapter was about not discriminating, but on this chapter, Buddha is making clear that how you should not be attached. Okay, and attachment will always be tested. How do you know that you're attached or not? When a child is playing with the toy, we how do we know whether he's attached to the toy? Just take away the toy and he will
mm,
start crying and shouting, oh, now I know you're attached to this. So
mm.
many a times Buddha will test the person whether he's gone into attachment or not, by first making
Teaching.
sure that he gets, then making sure that it is taken away. Once it is taken away and the person starts behaving in a weird manner, ah, we know now this was the reason that he was causing. Now that attachment
Mm,
causes a flurry of thoughts that come, and the person gets completely disturbed. Why is this so? Because if a bodhisattva gives alms without attachment to forms, their merits are immeasurable. If you give something based on your form attachment, then you don't get merits. You get the exactly opposite. They are demerits immeasurable. You will suffer. You will have pain, and you will not know whether to be like in that state where you have to thank people for the pain, or you have to be cursing people for the pain, because pain will just flood. The thoughts will flow through you because of attachment. But
mm,
that state of attachment is being caused by you because you are attached to the sensory part of
mm,
it. Okay, so true non-attachment, through not being attached to all those forms, even these that are coming with the senses of sound, odor, taste, touch, or thoughts also, one is actually not letting thoughts come in. And when thoughts do not come in, then as the question goes, how to control the thoughts? When there is nothing or not many, then you can control them. When there are too many, you cannot. You
yes.
understood? You can manage a little breeze. You can manage
Mm,
a little wind, but you cannot manage a storm. And today people are being stormed by thoughts. They don't
mm,
know what to do. So, what is depression? What is anxiety? What is worry? They are in a state where thoughts are storming into it and they don't know what to do. So, here it's a very important. The second important part is not getting attached. And the non attachment has been explained here very clearly.
Yeah.
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 Because we
Yeah.
don't know, na. We think attach means what? Okay, I'm not attached to this. Okay, let me test. I take it.
Yeah.
Well, then if the thought comes, finish. If you even miss,
Even the thought,
yeah, he's saying no, sound, odor, taste, touch.
taste, touch, or thought.
Ah, my friend, even
Ah,
the
ha,
thought of
ha.
missing it, even the thought that I gave that, you are already in attachment mode.
But you give only by the thought of giving, right?
No, you don't give by the thought of giving. You give
No,
because
no,
you are
like not thought of giving. What is this mental process which is going like somebody asked you a pen, then you gave a pen, but what is this then? Like I'm just
no,
asking
you
very
give a
basic.
pen because
Yeah,
somebody asked it. Okay,
yeah,
for if he asked that I want it forever, you gave
yeah,
it and you
yeah.
forgot it. Never ever did you think that, oh, 5 years back I gave that person a pen. Today I went and
Oh,
asked
okay,
him,
okay, okay.
just give me
Because
this.
the current action is also based on thought, right? If I that
No, it's based on the need. No, the person asked you
hmm,
something.
hmm, 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 hmm.
How can
I
that be
got it.
based on the
Because
thought?
mentally, though you're like processing it in a way that I am giving this pen to this
See,
person.
understand. An action can
Hmm.
trigger an action. You
Okay,
understand?
okay,
Uh,
okay.
but
Apple to
playing
apple.
apple to apple, action and reaction, that's okay. But
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
once you are missing that central part of the processing, then
hmm,
it becomes very, very automatic. It should not be
hmm.
like that. Here, Buddha is making very clear that
Yeah.
to test whether you are attached or not, give and see. If you've been missing it, if you've been thinking, oh, even after 10 years, oh, I gave that person a pen. And you know
Hmm,
what? I went and asked him this time that,
hmm,
can you just, share me one number? The guy ignored me, man. He forgot
hmm,
that
hmm,
once upon a time I gave him a pen when he needed it. My
hmm,
goodness, for
hmm,
10 years, you've been attached to that pen that you gave.
hmm,
How foolish. And this is the most difficult part because in a relationship today,
hmm,
people think that they have done something for somebody and they expect something. I did so much. What do I get in return? You're trading.
hmm,
You're trading in a relationship. You're not giving anybody anything. You
hmm.
understand? And trade is based on only two things, profit and loss. Right? There is nothing more in that. Then don't talk about emotions. Trade is very practical. You give something, if you get, fine. If you don't give, then leave it. If you want to be in that state, then even if you start trading compassion, if you see a poor person, oh, this is poor person, he's very poor, I want to go and help. Oh, you go and help, okay. Then you see another poor person, why did you not help him?
Exactly.
Because trust me, if today 90% of the world is poor, pathetic,
Hmm.
suffering, if 10% of the people decide to help the 90%, na, we have 100% of poor people in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
You think for yourself.
Hmm,
So technically, it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to understand that as a whole, everybody have to contribute and everybody
hmm.
can contribute, but without discrimination, and second, without non-attachment. Sorry, without
Wow.
attachment. So in a state of non-attachment. And here is the best way to find out whether you are attached or not. If you remember what you gave, finish, you're attached. You understood?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This is
If
actually
you
beautiful and very, you can say technical also.
yeah,
Not
if
only
you
like,
if you
yeah.
remember what you failed, you're attached to that failure also.
Hmm,
Learn to forget what has to be forgotten. All that has been given has to be forgotten. Many
hmm,
a times in organization, when we find somebody, at a certain stage in the organization that he's actually being now going off track from the purpose that he was, we use methods like these to check
hmm,
whether
hmm,
he is now in that mode of attachment of the past doing, and is because once you are in the attachment of the past doing, your present doing is gone for a toss.
Hmm.
Okay, so then we just make sure that we just take it away. Once
Hmm.
we take it away, the person reacts, I did so much, I did the blah blah. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Then we realize, oh my God, he's stuck in the past of so much of his doing that his present will never offer the best now. You understood? So then finish. When the person does not have any basis to hold on to the past doing, then his effort in the present continues. You understood? I cannot say that I pedaled the cycle when I started cycling and then it should automatically go. No, sir. Every time, depending on every situation and circumstance, you'll have to put in the effort and the force again and again. So please, this is the most important aspect of the Diamond Sutra. The first one is not to discriminate, do it equally to everyone. Okay, and second one is being non-attached.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think this is the heart of the Diamond Sutra, this chapter.
Yes.
And then, as you see, you should always have two sides to it. When I say this, that
Hmm.
also should be understood. So
Okay.
here it is,
Like.
if bodhisattvas give alms without attachment to forms, means they are ready to forget what they have given. They have no count. They cannot even measure. Like in the parable of the Jesus, where he is using the fish and the loaf and he has to feed
Hmm.
those people. Okay, he is not measuring how many. He's just saying, give. You start giving, it will multiply. And how much did it multiply? It could feed everybody, all the 5,000 people gathered. And yet it did not end. It was immeasurable. So even the fish and the loaf that was given, that also multiplied. So it is immeasurable. Merits multiply. Because he did not see the quantity of it. He did not see the quality of it. He just gave. Remember, I shared with you the early sutras that went, and there is this
Hmm.
sutra on the parables. And in that, there is a beautiful sutra where there is this poor farmer. Okay, he and his wife, they see that the king has invited all the Shramanas to the kingdom, and the king is offering for 1 month to the Shramanas. He's doing dana. And at the same time, in their backyard, they had this grape wine, who wherein the grapes had just come, and they were nice grapes. Now they desired that, we don't have anything much. We are so poor. So can I give these grapes to the Shramanas, the monks, and I can also contribute in my little way. But they know that no Shramana will be available because they're getting so much good food and everything by the king. Why will they do something for us? So they take the grapes, they keep it, and they say every day they think, for 1 month they think we want to give, we want to give. Then finally the day comes where the king has finished his commitment and the Shramanas are going. And that day, this poor farmer goes to one of the Shramanas and says, we also aspired to give something to a Shramana. We cannot give to the whole community, but one Shramana we wanted to give, and these are the grapes that we wanted to give to that Shramana for at least to have, and as a dana from our side. Then the Shramana says, "Oh, thank you so much," and he's happy to receive it. But he says, "We waited for 1 whole month, okay, just to give you this." The Shramana says, "Wow, you have given more than the king." He says, "How?" The king gave for 1 month. You gave every day when you were thinking of giving, you already gave. So 1 month
Yeah.
of thinking of giving, when the king was giving, you are giving, or
Hmm.
plus one extra day that you gave me really today, you have given more than the king.
Yes.
Oh, then he says, oh, and that person suddenly feels that even the thought of giving is worth
Is.
giving. That's where here it is said, even the thought. Okay, you can test whether that feeling of giving is whether coming from the thought, which is not attached to anything, not attached to profit. So again, when you're doing your duty, if your thought is attached to what I get in return, it's not doing your duty. You are doing a trade. You're doing a
Hmm.
trade, somebody will do a trade with you. Then you're
Hmm.
okay. Then you should be okay. You're doing it for profit. Somebody else is also going to do it for profit. You're trying
Hmm.
to get something out of it. Somebody also is going to try to get something out of it. Then don't feel bad. Then
Hmm.
don't feel bad at all. That how practical the world is. Like for example, A gets everything done for him. As soon as B gets the same thing that this person get, then A feels jealous. Hey,
Hmm.
why, this person is getting? But yeah, when you are getting, you should
Hmm.
have been happy. Now B is getting, be more than happy. That A
Hmm.
is getting something. Maybe what I got, this B is also going to get so much from that. Even C is going to get, even D is going to get, everybody will get. My goodness, that's where your jealousy is gone. You are
Hmm.
happy for somebody getting something that you got maybe 100 times more. Now that's the wish that comes automatically from a mind,
Bodhisattva.
yeah, that is pulsating the thoughts of giving. Okay,
Hmm.
give, and it can happen here. And that's why it is saying the merits are immeasurable. But if you do the other way around, if you're attached, the suffering is immeasurable.
Immeasurable.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, let's we if possible we'll give more verses for the day.
No, so is the chapter over here or
Uh, yeah, let us check.
no?
No, it continues. Yeah. So we'll continue. You have some time, right?
I have.
Okay. So Subhuti, what do you think? The space in the east, can you measure it? It is immeasurable, Bhagwan. Subhuti, are the spaces in the south, west, and north, the intermediate directions, the zenith and nadir, measurable? They're immeasurable, Bhagwan. Subhuti, similarly, the merit received by the Bodhisattva who give alms without attachment to form is immeasurable. Subhuti, the Bodhisattvas should follow this teaching to focus their mind. I just had a question before we start with the verses. Um, like when it comes to applying these giving wala thing in practicality, as you also do trading as part of your profession and you're a professional also, how do you apply this in your real life, or anyone can apply? Because one, when you're saying one is like dana, when it comes to dana, and when you're giving, and even when you're receiving from someone and that person is giving, you don't go into that mode of calculating it. And one aspect, so because you said when this comes you have to look at that also. So when a bodhisattva is giving alms, at that time he is giving without attachment. But when like bodhisattvas were also these people who were affluent and doing trading, so like Anathapindika, what would like he do? Like he'll just go on giving. When he's giving alms, then he'll give. But when he's trading, because he was a businessman, what would he do?
So you should look at a farmer, A
Hmm.
farmer cultivates his crop.
Hmm.
From the crop, he trades 90% so that he makes money.
Hmm. Hmm.
But 10% he gives it back to the soil so that he gets another bumper crop.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what giving means. See,
Okay.
trading means you do it for your survival. You have to do
Hmm.
your duty, right? Your business. In that, you might have to do everything possible.
Hmm.
Okay. But you'll have to be a little cunning,
Yep.
skillful, and all those qualities. You'll have to see you get something at 5 rupees and you're selling at 50 rupees. You're making 45 rupees profit. That's part of your business. That's a trade.
Hmm.
There
Hmm.
you're not trying to gain some merits in terms of your good nature and something. Here you're practically doing something because you want something practical like money. You want to
Hmm.
make money, right? Because from that 45 rupees that you make as profit, okay, you're going to live your life the way you want to live, an affluent life. But from that 45 rupees that you made, when you're
Hmm.
going to put back 5 rupees
Hmm. Hmm.
into doing some good deeds,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm.
these good deeds will build your relationship. People will see you contributing to the society. People will
Hmm.
see you giving away. They will not see what you got. They will not see the 40 plus rupees that you have spent on yourself. They will see the 5 rupees that you have given, and they will
Hmm.
going to see that this person is giving back. Okay,
Hmm.
remember even the whole existence works like that. While the
Hmm.
bee goes to the flower to suck the nectar out so that it can make the honey, but in the process it also pollinates the flower. It does a job. You know, that is the way exchange happens. Good happens when you keep on doing your part plus a little for the world around, the society around. You'll have to make sure that people around you are satisfied, people are happy, they are not in miserable states. So your contribution to the king in terms of dana is important, because how will the king run? King is not doing any kind of laborious work. He's there to protect you, he's there to organize you, he's there to maintain that harmony within the society, he's there to set up the law system and everything. But how will he live his life? Everybody that is living in his kingdom, if they contribute some part of what they have as a kind of a tax to the king, and the king then uses that to make sure that everything is in harmony. Now again, it's a responsibility king, because king then becomes the topmost servant who's being taken care of. And you see the benefit that you will receive where the king is good and where you're giving something. You live in an affluent country, you live in a nice thing, it's immeasurable. And here, why Buddha is talking about the immeasurable is because you're asking something that is measurable. Like you're saying that you give this, but what you'll receive is immeasurable. It's not understood, right? I put in 1 grain, and then you're saying that the soil will give me 1,000 grains.
mm,
Yeah. So how do I measure? So if I have to measure the merits, so Buddha says you cannot measure. It's immeasurable. Okay. So
mm,
how does he explain what is immeasurable? Because at that time, when we say measure and immeasure, we always have that either you can measure it or you cannot measure it. And here it
mm,
is saying that when you look at east, can you tell me where does east end? Means which is the point where east, that direction, will end? So I can I measure east direction? He says, no, you cannot measure east. Then is it that I can measure south, west, north, or the intermediate directions, the zenith and the nadir? Can you measure it? He says, no, no, no. You cannot measure all that. They are immeasurable.
mm,
Similarly, Subhuti, he says that what you will receive by your good deeds, by your giving, these things are like that. They are immeasurable. You cannot measure them. So you cannot use a scale to see how much good that you did, whether that good has come back. No. East could be just close. When I'm standing here, from my point of view, east is just left of me or right of me. And it could be so close also. Or it could be very far away. I cannot measure it. Similarly, what you will receive for your deeds, you cannot measure it and never measure it. Never
mm,
use a scale to measure that I did so much, I need to get so much back. That is why I'm saying don't do a trade off. You cannot
mm,
do a trade off. You have to leave it. Do not get attached. And that is why
mm,
people who understand that will automatically have no thoughts. Because
mm,
there is no reason only to think, because you have nothing as the foundation to think. Because you're not discriminating, because you're not attached, what is going to happen? There are no thoughts. Because there are no thoughts, what happens? Whatever you're doing, you're focusing your mind. So he's saying this is the way you should do. By non-discrimination and by non-attachment, you should follow this teaching to focus your mind. So now he answered the first question very smartly. By
beautiful.
answering the second one and explaining it systematically, he said focusing of the mind is a byproduct, is a
Mm,
byproduct of you cultivating a non-discriminating and a non-attachment mind. You understood?
mm,
That is why when we teach Shunya, we say dhyana is the fruit of your
mm,
practice. What is your practice about? Is non-attachment to the breath also, a non-discrimination to the breath also. We don't do anything. We don't put any effort to make choices, that I want to take deep breaths. I want to leave we don't do that. We don't practice like that. There is no
mm,
choice, because choice is basically a preference. Preference is an effort. And when you put in an effort, you're already discriminating. So you
mm,
don't do that. You are not attached. Whether the breath is fast, whether it is slow, whether it is deep, whether it is shallow, we don't do anything. We just watch, watch, watch. Because when you watch, you don't have memory, you cannot keep that in the memory. It's just
yes.
watched and gone. See, you would have watched so many things in your life. Do you remember all of that?
Mm-hmm,
No, because 99% of the things that you watched are just gone away. So watching is not storing memory. Engaging is storing memory. And when
mm,
you engage, when you hold on to things, when you like something and you dislike something, you're already holding on to. You can like a song of a movie and you can hold that song in your mind and you can play it again and again.
mm,
If you dislike a character of a movie, you can still keep that in your mind and you can hold it and play again and again. But either of those, like and dislike, are not there, then there is no memory. There was just a pure experience. And here it is saying that with that, whatever you will do next time, you will automatically be engaged in that state of mind where focus is the outcome. So when we talk dhyana as the fruit of your practice of patience and endurance by observing, means samatha vipassana. Samatha means non-discrimination. Vipassana means seeing through clearly. Okay, and that means that by no means I'm going to be attached to any of these five senses and also my thought process, and that is possible by testing yourself by dana.
yeah,
Clear? I think so. This is like the formula for us to live a life and test ourselves, So I always I do this. I do this a lot. I first cause attachment and then check whether that attachment is an attachment or it is just an engagement. Then we detach. Once we detach and we can see that person, like you take the fish, put the fish in the water, it swims well. You think it is so happy. Oh, is it happy because that is the nature of the fish to be happy? Oh, no, no, no. It is basically, it is happy because that's what it feels. It's in the best environment. So if I change the environment, is the fish going to be happy? I just take the fish out and put it in outside the water. Then
मछली जल की रानी
the
है
fish,
जीवन उसका
fish
पानी
was a
है.
fool that was thinking that, oh, I'm so relaxed, I'm at peace. But I take you out
हम्म,
from there and put it into the no water zone. I
हम्म,
see you dying, you craving. That means when I see you at peace, when you're
हम्म,
practicing, let me
हम्म,
check whether you're okay. I change your conditions and put you into some work, some
हम्म,
responsibility, a little more of ignorance, a little more of jealousy, a little more of
हम्म,
greed. There, if I see you going like this,
हम्म.
then I know fish was so much dependent on conditions for its peace and joy.
Yeah, true. Even when we go through practice, we feel, oh wow, so much peaceful. Ah, okay, now we go and do something. Already all set. Then douche. Oh, where is the peace gone? Then douche. Then everything. Then suddenly all these thoughts, all these things are telling you, my goodness, and you feel how greedy I am, how this I am, how selfish I am. And but at least because of the practice, you get to see all of these things for the first time, and that's the most beautiful part, I think so.
So then appreciate if the fish appreciates the environment where it experiences joy.
Hmm.
Okay. And thanks itself in that I can carry this joy not because of the conditions that are around. It should be my
Hmm.
basic nature. I should not
Yes.
be so dependent on conditions for my joy. If the conditions change, my
Hmm.
joy doesn't go away. And
But
that
how will the
just
fish do that?
why can't it do? Because
Because fish is like dependent on the water.
yes, that's what Buddha is trying to teach us. Everything that is manifested
Hmm.
is a dependent origination. If you try to seek that joy independently, beyond
Hmm.
that dependency, you are a fool.
Hmm.
You're not going to get that. So don't try to
Yeah.
seek that. But this is very impermanent. This dependent joy is very impermanent because things do not last long.
Hmm.
That is why there is suffering.
Hmm.
Now, there is a state that is beyond that dependency, and that
Hmm.
state is your own self, right?
Hmm.
Which is not dependent on anything. And that state is the state of nirvana. And you can achieve this. And that state means now I don't need water, I don't need the air, I don't need anything for
Hmm.
this manifested body. That is what my body needs, the air. My,
Yes.
it's the body that needs the food. But
Hmm.
I am not the body, right? We realize it because this is ever changing. The
Hmm.
little one, the young one, and the old one, they are perishing.
Hmm.
They flourish and then they perish. But that
Hmm.
is not me. That is not mine. I
Hmm.
am beyond that. When I realize it, then I'm independent of the water, the
Hmm.
body of the fish that is dependent on the water. I'm independent of that. Then I'm that state of pure awareness. That is
Hmm.
the state of my bliss. Again, the word Sat Chit Anand.
Chetanand.
I realize that that state of reality where my consciousness is in constant bliss, independent of all the dependent factors that bring in that so-called, suffering. I'm free of all that, because when I'm free of all that dependent factors, that's when I'm independent, right? And that state of nirvana is basically your shunya state, where there is
Hmm.
nothing, absolutely nothing. And that no thingness is where you will experience the bliss. But when you have to engage with the world, you will have to take form. You will have to come in the rupa world. That means you'll have to accept suffering as a part. You want to do business, but you don't want stress. It doesn't work like that.
Mhm. Yeah, that was one more confusion. Like now, when you know that this is the way and this is your state, then when you engage, then you should not feel like that.
Exactly. Means you want to go to the gym, but you don't want anything,
Hmm.
to be a stress to you. No
Yeah, yeah,
sweating.
yeah.
No, I don't
No,
want to lift
that's
weight.
what, like, even physical thing, like now I know I'm not the body or something like that. So whatever. But suddenly, oh, this is aching, that is aching, this is paining, but I am not the body, I'm not the body. But it doesn't work like that, no?
Absolutely. In the Rupa world, you will have to accept both, right? Joy and pain, both. And you see the Rupa world, whenever you engage with the world, you'll have to actually do that. So if you want to be a politician, be ready for all the politics that is going to happen around you. You then don't curse, oh, they did politics with me. My friend, you are in politics. They're going to do politics with you. They're going to
Obviously.
treat you. You did business for profit. Then you had a loss. Hey, somebody else made profit out of you. You were doing business, somebody else also was doing business now.
Yeah,
You went to war to win. You lost, but that person also came to
somebody
the
else
war to
was.
win. He won.
Hmm.
Na?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
If you would have won, he would have lost. See,
Yeah.
come on, you're living in a world where you both are going to engage for something. Somebody is going to
Hmm.
get, somebody is not going to get. But if you're okay with that, then you continue. Don't worry. Don't
Oh,
bring in
okay,
that
okay.
stress. Don't bring in that worry. Don't bring in that fear. Just realize this. So, Shunya is Rupa and Rupa is Shunya. That means the state of your doing should be in the state of, when I say Shunya, means non discrimination and non attachment is
Hmm.
the state of Shunya. But in your doing, there is attachment and there is discrimination.
Hmm.
You understood? The Rupa world comes with discrimination. You'll do your planning, you'll sort out, you'll build a team, you'll discriminate because you have to. Without that, it
Otherwise,
doesn't work.
how? Otherwise, how?
Exactly.
That
So
is the
the
question.
world of Rupa is dualistic.
Okay.
The world of Shunya is
Is
Arupa, that
non-dual.
is non-dualistic.
So what does that Shunya hi Rupa and Rupa hi Shunya
Okay,
means?
that means at the essence of everything that has manifested, there was the basic of an unmanifested self that was conditioned. The soil was conditioned to become the pot.
Hmm.
Okay, but the pot, even though it has taken a form, it is not separate from the soil. At the end, it is going to become the soil again. You understood? So, when we understand this manifested self for us is a conditioned manifestation of what we have. So, if we are in a human life today, we have achieved it through something. Now, if you want to make a better version of yourself, you continue doing the good things that you did to achieve this. But if you want to mess it up, you go and fall into the trap and you fall down. You will not get this again, what you've got.
Hmm.
So it's up to you. You have that right choice when it comes up to in that manifested state. You have that little window. You can
Hmm.
board a train, but you cannot control the speed of the train because the driver is doing that, right? But
Yeah.
within that train, do you have the freedom to sit where you want to sit? You based on your reservation tickets, you can go. Within that framework, you have the freedom. You don't have
Hmm.
the freedom to control the train. So within this little opportunity, this compartment of ours called the body,
Hmm.
we have this little thing of cultivating virtue, cultivating the paramitas, and then making sure that we are able to do what is supposed to be done. And when can you do that? As Subudhi says, only two questions. If a
Hmm.
virtuous man and a virtuous woman wishes to attain the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, because he knows if somebody wants to achieve the highest version of themselves in
Hmm.
whatever it, I mean, there is nothing greater than that. How should they focus their mind and control their thoughts? And Buddha answered that by saying, you can control your thoughts by first non discrimination, second by non attachment. What happens is automatically you achieve the state of focusing the mind.
Hmm.
That means if your mind is focused, can you achieve Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi?
Yes.
Finish. That's how it is. So dhyana leads you to Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, the highest version of yourself. So this dhyana that you practice ultimately is going to give you a better version of yourself. So Shunya practice is just to achieve that higher and the greater version of yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
Amazing, beautiful. I mean, it's not about letting go and leaving and being something which is very, you know, discarding of it. It's rather becoming that higher version of yourself by letting go of all those things which are not letting you be that higher version of yourself, which is the true self of yours.
Absolutely.
So, wow, wow. I mean, if the world gets to know this now that it's going online, they should. It's very beautiful that meditation and all of these things are not about becoming something which is very more like a affluent thing than of a very miserly thing.
Yeah, true. No, it's not about being a recluse. It's about being
Hmm.
inclusive. Means you have to be inclusive, not reclusive.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Reclusive. Yeah.
you cannot just leave everything and go away. You have to
Hmm.
engage. See, somebody taught me a nice thing. A ship that
Hmm.
never sailed,
Hmm.
never experienced what drowning is, sinking is. But it also missed on the other part of the voyage itself, the purpose that
Hmm.
it was built for. Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Anyways, it is going to someday get rot and going to be
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
discarded
yeah.
on the shore, even if it remains on the shore for 1,000 years.
Hmm.
You understood? But imagine a ship that took its journey inside the sea,
Hmm.
went through all the storms, all the turbulence, you know, but it explored itself. The purpose it fulfilled what it was. Then one storm came and it crushed it down. All the parts were thrown by the sea back on the shore from where it came. But it's okay. You understood?
Rebuilt it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do what you're supposed to do. I think
Yeah.
that's a good way. And that was the last part of this chapter, right?
Yes, last part of this chapter. So now maybe we can conclude it
Yeah.
and have a summary of it.
So I
Yeah.
think the summary part, I leave it to you now. You can summarize because
Yeah.
way
No,
you understand that you have understood.
yeah, I've just understood it in a way that for us to control, to focus the mind, you have to start it by controlling the thoughts. And these thoughts, they are born because of your attachment. And when you are especially giving or doing something, because as we get to know that when you want to control your thoughts, you have to make sure that you're not attached to any of these six things technically, your forms, your sound, all the five senses, and the sixth one, which is the mind, and which is giving arise to the, which is giving these which is because of this engagement with the five sensual things, the sixth one is being born, which is the thought. And how so? Not in the action. So in the action, all the thinking and all of this, that is fine. But if after the action is done and you're feeling, oh, I could have done this, I could have done this, now that is the thought process which you're already going into. You, if even if you could have bettered it, if you feel like that, just do it, don't think about it. And if you don't feel like it, you feel like you did something bad, you have to forget it because you cannot correct it. And in that way, now leading from that, how do you do that? By being non-attached. And how do you have that non-attachment, that realize that this you which you are having the idea is not the you, that is the self which you are talking about. And likewise, how do you do that? Because you have these measurable items that when you do this, do that, all these measurements, all these scales which you carry within you are giving rise to this elusive you. And that is why when you let go, just break these and realize this, automatically all these scales will be shattered. because they were never there. It's like once you turned on the light, how you give an example of that snake thing, like whether it is a rope or a snake, once you turn on the light, you'll get to know. And now, if it's a snake, make sure you guard yourself. If it's a rope, you can keep it somewhere else. So, this is what I learned from today. But yeah, this because we have kept this chapter online, I'll go and read it, study it again and again as much as many times possible, because this is very beautiful, and we'll try to put the transcript out there and things and everything. And hopefully, we today just I felt like when you gave that example of the fish, that we can do this talk series in Hindi also,
Yeah.
because then the examples would be again interesting. So this was it. Maybe was it okay or something that I missed? If you
I
can.
think, yeah, no, good, good. Very, very nicely you have summarized. And it's in the process of experiencing that we get knowledge.
Hmm.
You cannot get knowledge and go and experience.
No.
You have to experience to get knowledge. In the doing, we
Hmm.
are actually liberated. So how
Yeah.
can you keep yourself away from doing? Karma
Hmm.
yoga
Hmm.
is the path to mukti. Is
Hmm.
that is why do your duty,
Hmm.
lay down the burden. What has to be done has to be done. No more
Hmm.
excuses.
Hmm.
Born in a family that is going through difficult times, go through
Hmm.
difficult times, make the family such that they don't have to go through difficult times again.
Hmm.
You are the messiah of the problems that you are put into.
Hmm.
When you get out of it, you get everybody out of it. When you
Hmm.
save yourself, you save 1,000 people. So your lineage, your your whole community is dependent on you. If you realize the importance of that, then you become the example to lead that particular family, that particular generation, and you become like Buddha became the Shakyamuni. He became the representative of his whole clan. Many kings have come and many kings have gone. They had their kingdoms, they lost their kingdoms, they had their family lineage, they lost their family lineage. We don't remember many kings, but Shakyamuni is remembered because he became the king that will never be forgotten. So why? Because he brought his whole clan to that state of respect where he represented them. So you should understand that we are representatives of our clan. So our family, our situation, everything. We can become that person from where that transformation begins for everybody. You understand? So here again, this is being taught here so that we understand that Buddha is teaching us that do your duty.
Hmm.
Okay, not just sit there and chant and just do. No, 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 no. Do your duty, and your duty is given to you because it always comes in a form of a problem, a difficulty, circumstances. It will come in some way or the other, right? You cannot have a duty done when there is no problem, when there is no need. So if your life is full of problem and needs and difficulties, that means you have duty to perform. That's it.
Yeah, like a soldier is on duty, but not an employee.
Yeah. No, so employee is on duty for because he will be given something to do, right? A soldier
Yeah,
is
yeah, both
also
are
on duty.
actually.
Everybody is on duty. There is not a
Everybody is on
single
duty.
person. The ant is on duty.
Hmm.
Okay. They are all a part of this whole cycle of existence. Everybody is contributing in some way or the other. Even
Hmm.
the simple roots, they
Hmm.
hold
Hmm.
on to the soil to
Actually.
prevent erosion.
Hmm.
You understood? So imagine nothing out there is not contributing into your existence. You are an
Hmm.
outcome of the existence around you. Do
Hmm.
not jump out of the water. I'm telling you, you'll suffer more. In the
Hmm.
water, you're still in joy.
Hmm.
Do not curse the water in which you breathe. Do not curse the land in which you live. Do not curse the people along with whom you share this
Hmm.
space. Do not curse anything. You have to understand this. And if you understand this, you'll see everything as one. And when you see everything as one, you become one, right?
Hmm.
And that's the only one you have to realize. So being in that non-discriminative state of mind and in a state of mind that is not into attachments, you will continue your journey. And that journey will lead you to a state where there will be no burden. What has to be done has been done. Your responsibilities have been fulfilled. There is no more coming back.
Wow.
Understood?
Beautiful. Yeah,
Okay.
beautiful. Thank
So
you
I think
so
we can
much,
end.
Rajesh sir. I
Yeah,
think
thank
that
you.
is a very amazing concluding note from you, and this will put all of us on the state of action, doing our duty, and making us realize that what has to be done has to be done. And in a way where you are doing this with all these, you can say now we have so many beautiful tips and advices to follow, and we can practical steps, you can say practical step by step, a guided method to follow for us. Thank you so much for joining in and giving us time, and now we'll end the session on this note. And thank you so much who all are watching, and that was it for today. Namaste, and see you at today. You guys can join in for the Shunya Talks at 8:30, and for the Sutra Talks we'll meet next Saturday. Until then, namaste and bye bye.